So we are going to start unit 4 non-parametric tests. So after finishing unit 1 we have entered into tests. Generally the tests are of two types called parametric tests and non-parametric tests. Parametric tests and we call simply those are non-parametric tests. These are in your unit 2-3 syllabus and these are in unit 4 syllabus. So let us see what are these tests first. Then you can enter into non-parametric test. After finishing the non-parametric test, we will go back to unit 2 and 3. So, I think you know the statistical inference consists of two parts called theory of estimation and testing of hypothesis. In theory of estimation, the unknown parameters of the population are estimated by using different sampling techniques and different estimation methods. After estimating the unknown parameters of the population, you are framing a statement regarding the estimation, which is called the hypothesis. After making the statement, then it may be true or it may not be true. So, after making the statement regarding the estimation process, you are going to test the statement which is made. Means, as a statistical inference consists of two parts called theory of estimation and testing of hypothesis. In theory of estimation, the unknown parameters are estimated. In hypothesis, which is discussed in unit 1, just we are going to frame the statement for the given estimation process. After estimating that, its reliability or it can be tested using the tests. The tests are of two types called parametric and non-parametric tests. Means under the test procedure is going to involve different 8 steps. Those 8 steps are common whether this is a parametric test or non-parametric test. The main thing we are going to do after during this test is nothing but during the test procedure we are going to follow a sequence of several steps. At the end, we are going to give a conclusion that whether we are going to accept the test made or not. What we are going to do under testing of hypothesis, we are going to follow a set of steps. After performing all those steps, at the end we are going to conclude that whatever statement or the hypothesis made is going to be accepted or rejected. So let us go to those 8 steps which are involved either parametric or non-parametric tests. Let us see all those steps today. So the first step you should do is nothing but you should frame a null hypothesis. I think all of you know that null hypothesis is indicated with H0. Means in the step 1 we are going to frame the null hypothesis. So what is the form of null hypothesis? H0 such that theta is equal to theta naught. If you are estimating theta and you got a value called theta naught for that we are going to frame. Now you know that null hypothesis is a statement which is considered to be true till the decision is done. Means you are going to consider that whatever value you got under estimation procedure, that is true. Means H0 always will have H0 such that theta is equal to theta naught. Whenever we have H0, always it is followed by alternative hypothesis, which is nothing but if it is of equal to type, then alternative hypothesis will be H1 such that theta not equal to theta naught. So the first and foremost step in testing of significance, maybe parametric or non-parametric, is null hypothesis. In null hypothesis, you are going to frame the null hypothesis for the given problem, and we indicate the null hypothesis with H0, and whenever we write a null hypothesis, always it is followed by alternative hypothesis denoted by H1 such that if it is equal to type, then it will be not equal to type. So this is the first step, and you are going to collect the required sample for the performing for the calculation or for the decision part. First step is setting up of the null hypothesis. Second one, sample data. Data is collected. for a specified population of fixed size. In the third step, we are going to calculate the test statistic. Okay, yeah, for each test it is going to change. So in the third step we are going to calculate the test statistic. Then you should identify the distribution of the test statistic in fourth step. And in the fifth step you should write the critical value, or which is also called the table value. And in the sixth step, you are going to specify the level of significance. In the seventh step, you are going to specify whether it is a two-tailed test or one-tailed test. And at last, you are going to make the decision. How do you make the decision? Means here test statistic is indicated with Z and critical value is indicated with Z alpha. Whenever modulus of Z is greater than Z alpha by 2, we are going to reject the hypothesis. Whenever mod Z is less than Z alpha by 2, we are going to accept the null hypothesis. Again I repeat, the tests are of two categories, parametric and non-parametric test. Whether it is a non-parametric or parametric test, it involves a sequence of 8 steps. After those steps, what we are going to conclude is nothing but, based on the procedure, we are going to either at the end we are going to reject the null hypothesis or accept. So what are the sequence of the steps? In the first step, you should frame the null hypothesis for the given problem. If you write the null hypothesis, always it is followed by alternative hypothesis. Second one, you should calculate sample. The second step is to collect the sample data. And third step is nothing but, you should find out the test statistic. Generally, test statistic is indicated with Z. Then, after writing the test statistic, you should identify its distribution. Then, critical value. Critical value is nothing but, after identifying the distribution which it follows, like normal distribution or chi-square or T or F, you are going to write its table values, where you will have a logarithmic type of values. You should tabulate those from those values. Then level of significance we indicate with alpha. You should specify the level of significance alpha. That critical value is indicated with Z alpha. Then you should decide whether it is a two-tailed or one-tailed test. How do you decide a test is a one-tailed or two-tailed test? Depending upon the alternative hypothesis. If at all, the alternative hypothesis consists of, whenever the alternative hypothesis consists of not equal to type, we call that as a two-tailed test. If the alternative hypothesis involves less than or greater than symbols, we call that as a one-tailed test. You should decide the nature of the test. And at the last step, you are going to compare the test statistic Z with the table value. Means test statistic is always indicated with Z. The critical or table value is indicated with Z alpha. Whenever Z is greater than Z alpha by 2, we reject H naught. Otherwise, we accept H naught. Okay, these are the sequence of tests which either NP or parametric tests are going to involve. In the next class, I am going to start with the first NP test. Okay, thank you.